It's been a while since we've talked about my lighting setup, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive of my lighting schedule. For those of you that are new here, this is a Red C-Max 250 with built-in XR30 Pros. These are not new XR30 Pros, these are old lights. I believe they are Gen 2 with Gen 3 lights or something like that. I have 2 of them built into the hood. I've had these lights on the tank since I set the tank up, and my corals seem to love them. I do have an issue with this right light over here. It always has to be reset every single morning to like repower and turn it on. I need to send it in for servicing, but I don't have another light to put there, and I don't want all of my coral to die. So I need to get like a I guess like a temporary light to be able to keep the coral happy while this light is out for servicing. I also have it set up on a reef link so that way I can easily control everything from my phone except for the resetting process. Unfortunately, to reset the lights, I have to do it on a desktop, which is super annoying. It wouldn't be so bad if I could do it from the app, because then I could just do it wherever. But every morning I have to make sure that I have a computer handy so that way I could reset the lights. So Ecotech, if you're listening to this, make it so that you could reprogram the lights on the app as well. That way, or even be able to access the desktop version from the website, because I try to do that as well, and it says that it doesn't support it, that you have to use the app. So that feature would be very helpful, because then I could just reset them from wherever as long as the reef link is connected. Now that you know what lights I'm using, let's check out the lighting schedule that I have been running for a very long time. I'm about to share my light schedule in its entirety. I am giving away all of the secret sauce right now. I'm definitely just kidding. This is my light schedule. I don't even know how I created it, but here it is. This beautiful little flowing diagram is what I got going on here. My lights start at 10 a.m. and then we have a nice little ramp up to 11 where we get to 28% intensity. Overall, my lights are, if you look over here, I only have them at 80% for like the overall lighting. We have a nice little ramp up, and then I have a period from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So that's 3 hours of like the light just looks like that for the whole period. That's my highest peak of lighting. This is actually what I have recently changed. I brought that a little closer because I had more light before, but then when I was having the issue with algae, I dialed it back a little bit. So that's that, and then we start tapering off to 6. Then from 6 to 9:30, it's the same again, but we'll see in a second here. This is mostly blue lighting, and then we rapidly decline from 9:30 to 10:30 just to go night-night. Over here, I don't have any of these lunar phases or anything like that going on. I definitely don't want to do that right now. So let's go take a deeper. You know what I don't understand? I'm assuming that these are saying like 47% because not all the lights are all of the individual colors are all the way up as well. So I guess if those were all the way up, then it would just be the 80% that's overall. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't entirely know. I'm not about to start messing with it. Okay, so individual colors. Can I zoom in here? I cannot. This is all we can see, guys. I'm so sorry. What happens if I click? Okay, so if we got 0 there. On the first one, individual colors, man. What's going on here? Why did it go? Hello? There is an error attempting to update. I don't want to update. I just want to see. Hello? Oh, it logged me out. Solid. Solid. Thank you so much. One second, guys. We got to log back in. Okay. We are logged back in. So for right here, 10 o'clock a.m., we could see on the left-hand side here, all of the colors are at 0. Everything is at 0. By the time we get to 11, wow, look at this little beautiful little piano setup that I have going here. So we have UV all the way up. We got royal blue at 55%, blue at 40%, whites are only at 10, and red and green, I'm pretty sure these account for some algae, so I do not ever have a lot of red and green lighting in there, just a wee bit. Then we're pumping it up, 12 o'clock, we increase a little bit more. We have this, what is this slider? is it 80% the whole time? Yeah, so this brightness is also at 80% the whole time, it looks like. Here, the only thing I changed, we bump up the royal blue to 85% and the blue to 65%. And then the whites to 15 and the red and greens to 5. So just a small little increase there. And then my main like peak lighting is full UV, full royal blue, full, no, not full, 80% blue, 25% white. That's as high as I go on the whites. And then 8% green, 8% red. That was also something that I dialed back when I was having the algae issues. I can't remember if I was at 10, 12, or 15. Regardless, I brought them down to 8 just because, and it seems to be working fine now. So that is going to be the same as I have here at the 4 o'clock. Everything there remains the same. Boom, boom. And then we dial it back. Look at that. From 4 to 6, we got a big drop off to 5 on the whites, back to 0 on the red and the greens, and just slightly dialed it back on the blues. It looks like I went from 80 to 75, so not a big change there. The biggest change is on the whites, and I don't want to change anything. Why did it just do that? Very finicky, this thing. Okay, I don't know why this is program. Great, I probably just messed something up. So that's that. That also stays the same all the way up until 9:30. So I guess I would have more, if I took off that white, I would have that more bluish look, which when I do like my tank videos that I'm using the orange sunglasses, I will throw the tank in, I think the preset is all blues, and that's what I use for the glasses to get, so I guess if I cranked up this blue and took the white down, maybe that would give that same look. But anyway, I don't like it to look like too out of control because I'm not walking around with orange sunglasses, so I still like it to just look presentable to the naked eye. And then we have another steep drop off from 9:30 to 10. This is more so in the percentage, it looks like the intensity. Yeah, so all of the sliders, like of the individual colors, it looks like remains the same, but the brightness of it goes from 80, yeah, from 80 to, bro, again with this thing, goes from 80 to 20. So same individual color percentages, just the overall brightness of them drops from 80 to 20. However, if you notice, that says 80 for, that's it, look at this one right here. That says 80, bro. This says 20, but the overall one right here is still at 80%. So that's the part that I don't really understand. Again, I just leave it, but that's that. And then that last little 30 minutes, we go all the way back to 0 across the board. Good night. Reef tank goes night-night. And that is my entire lighting schedule in detail, which is specific to my tank setup. And remember, my lights are very close to the water. Probably if you have these lights, they're not going to be built into the tank. Most likely, I haven't seen them before built into a tank like this. So actually, I did see one person do it on Reef to Reef. I don't remember if they were Radions, but I did see one built-in tank light. Anyway, most people usually hang their lights over like their open tank setups. So your lighting settings are going to be different than mine. You could possibly do like the same in terms of amount, like per slider, and just increase the brightness to 100% or something. I'm not really sure how it works. This is what works for me. I guess you could test it out if you want. Let me know if it works for you. That would be cool, like multiple people having success with the lighting schedule. But hey, try it at your own risk, okay? I'm not responsible for any burnt out corals or anything like that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching it, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.